Let's look at the brake pads. We're just going to take the caliper off just so we can have a decent look. I know I can see in there, and I'm pretty sure there's enough meat on the pad to do the task that we require it to do over the next few days. But if we have a look in there, we'll know for sure. The brake pads are held in with pins, but you can see there's actually plenty on them. I did think I was getting a bit low, but no, there's plenty there. See, check that out. The other side should be pretty much the same. There's a little less on this side here, on the left hand side that you're looking at, and then the right hand side's got heaps. Probably about 1 millimetre difference, I imagine, looking at that. Again, the other side is probably the same situation. I've only ever had one problem, or two problems, with the brake calipers. One was the other side with the strip thread, and the same side actually a leaking piston. So I had to take that to a brake specialist, and they dismantled, cleaned up, and replaced the appropriate seal. So that was and that was probably a couple of $100 New Zealand. Wasn't too shabby, I guess, given the amount of work it's done, and who knows why it gave way. Probably similar to the front, maybe slightly less, maybe half a millimetre less meat on these two pads, but I think still, again, nothing to worry about, and they'll get me another few kilometres yet, eh? So yeah, Cold Kiwi, here we come, eh? And as well, we should have enough to go in on these tyres. They are starting to square off a little bit across there, and they don't turn as nice as what they did when they were brand new, but there should be plenty there for this trip away. A couple of thousand k's. Front tyre, same deal there again too, but we still have plenty of tread, and the rear indicators are all good as gold. Might be a bit hard to see there. Pretty angels on front and back. That's sweet. Resetting the throttle body balance. You got the inlet, there's a wee screw up in here, air bleed for idle, so you tighten them both up on both sides, and on this side here, just make sure that they are tight, so you close everything off so everything's all equal, right? On top of that, I like to stand the bike up a bit more straight and just put a block underneath the side stand. In this case, I've used a piece of bark. Works a treat. Here's where we're going to measure the throttle body balance. You then have your throttle, and we turn the throttle. Of course, you can see what moves there. Now I can tell you one thing: never ever touch that bar there, and never touch the throttle stop. Only one thing we're going to adjust here is this screw here if it's required. We are going to make a change to the balance between the two intakes. On the other side over here too, TPS we're talking about. This is this device on top of the intake, which sends signals back to the ECU, and I guess the ECU does what? It's magic. Let's get it done. We don't want to take too long. We've got to have the engine up to temperature. So what I've had to do is I've just gone down to the supermarket to get some supplies, which is helpful because then I can get the engine to temperature, which it is now. Right, let's get into it. You need a computer, got our sockets. On top of that, we've got a carb tune, which is what I use to measure the balance of the throttle bodies. Carb Tune Pro, real simple device. Got a couple of columns here. You can get up to 4, depending on the type of bike you've got. And then the 2 tubes, which then screw into what we were looking at before, with the wee bleed screws. And then for connecting to your computer, you'll need a interface, and we use Guzzi Diag, which is a free piece of software which some awesome people have developed, allowing us to reset TPS and measure and look at other things. Once you've heated the engine up, just remember these parts are part of the engine, they get damn hot. And I'll put them up on top of the tank ring there, that way I can't lose them. Do thoroughly recommend making sure you've got the wee restrictor tubes installed, because just with the 2 cylinder and the way they work, otherwise you'll have your device jumping up and down all over the place. Push the tubes onto the device, lift the seat. You've got a wee plug underneath the seat here. Get the cap off, plug that in, plug an end into your power negative, and the other end goes to your computer USB. So now we're connected to the Guzzi Diag. Here's a little difficult to see given I'm not in the garage. So here we can see this slight difference to the right side cylinder. Now idle is pretty close, and it's 3000. Pretty close here. I think just because of that, whatever the problem is in the left hand side cylinder is just a little bit of a pain. To reset the TPS, we shut the engine down, we'll reset that. Job done. Disconnect everything. So for a small price, they're actually a really good value. I think about $100 New Zealand. And when it comes to this, you can buy the kit on eBay or somewhere. So these two together, you know, can save you just from some simple diagnostic stuff. If you know what you're doing, feel comfortable, and you know, save you $100. Go to a service centre to get the same stuff done. Don't pack these up in the bag straight away because they are hot and you don't want to burn your stuff you've paid good money for, eh? So done. Beautiful grille.